Hi folks, this is Sam from Coastal Angler Magazine, and today we're in Charleston at Henkel Marine. We're here with Bill Elliott, and he's going to give us an in-depth review on the 2020 Sportsman's Masters 267 OE. It's an absolutely perfect multitask bay boat. You're going to love it.
Morning, my name's Bill Elliott. We're here at Henkel Marine, and I was going to go over some of the highlights on Sportsman's 267 OE. Got sitting right back here behind me. We've done a couple reviews so far, and this boat is really one of my favorites as far as inshore and nearshore capabilities, especially family and friends. We'll go over some details of it first. Like length is 26 foot 7 inches. It's got a 9.2 beam. The fuel tank says 116. It's about 105 gallons usable fuel. We got 3 live wells in the boat, 2 20-gallon live wells in the back, one of which comes standard with the recirculator and the bubbler, and then another 20-gallon live well on the transom, and then an 8-gallon live well up on the bow. Fish boxes in the boat. The OE is very similar to the Masters with the bow casting deck, but the OE has a center coffin box. And what we'll do is in a second we'll climb up in the boat and I'll show you some of the functionality and the features that make this boat different from the regular Masters, and how I've used that offshore with my family and with a couple buddies fishing as well. Before we climb up in the boat, I just wanted to go over what we've got going on the transom here. So Sportsman offers this boat with Yamaha's F425 as well as Yamaha's new XTO 425. A lot bigger engine back here on the back. This boat with this power, if it was just me and a couple guys and maybe less than half a tank of gas, this boat will easily see 60 miles an hour. I think fully loaded, again, 105 gallons of fuel. If I load up 500 pounds of water and live wells and a couple hundred pounds of ice and soft drinks in the cooler, you'll probably still see 50 miles an hour fully loaded. So this motor right here has got a ton of weight, but it's got a lot more torque than some of the other engines. And I think it's the perfect power on the back of this boat, just because of as much weight as you can add to this boat. This has got the torque to keep it moving and outrun some of those storms or get home a little bit sooner from the fishing hole. So let's climb up in the boat. So we've climbed up in the back of the boat, so I want to talk about behind the leaning post first. Again, these are the 2 20-gallon live wells that I was talking about on the ground. This is the one with both recirculator and bubbler in it. So if you're keeping bait alive on the trailer, or you're fishing with something fragile like Manhattan, or some people call them bunker, or whatever, something hard to keep alive, then that recirculating pump in there will give them that current to fight against and keep your bait alive a lot longer. The port side live well is just a recirculating live well in the fresh raw water in, and it just overflows and pours out. So again, good for shrimp, mud minnows, stuff like that. As with most Sportsman bay boats, and kind of one of Sportsman's signatures is bilge access, so that guys who can do their own maintenance. So under the seat there is their standard flip up. It also all the way down in the bilge. We got the Airmar Beast 175 transducer. That's the 1 kilowatt transducer. 2 high-speed pickups, 2 bilge pumps, and everything's clean, tied up, and out of the way. When you're not riding, you put it down, and the slide-in seat sits on lips, so that as you're walking across this type of lid, it's not giving under your feet as if you're walking on cushions. One of the other things that's great about this boat is they have a huge in-floor fish box. It's a macerated box, so keeping bait or fish box alive, you got a macerated box there. Talking about the leaning post here for a second. In this boat, we've opted for the cooler and tackle station. So I've got some tackle trays, tackle boxes there, and then my battery switch is right here. And then again, we opted for the cooler. There's 3 different setups for the leaning post. You can get it with the cooler, which kind of opens up the boat a little bit, but for the hardcore fishermen, There's a live well leaning post, and then there's a tackle station leaning post. So you ought to be able to customize it to fit the needs that you and your family have, as far as be fishing or socializing, however you like to do it. And then all of them come with the good, nice, big LeBrock seats with the flip-down bolsters and armrests so that people feel safe and secure in the leaning post. We'll talk about the Helm here now. So here at the Helm, all the 267s, all the Sportsman's 25-foot boats and up come with fully electronic steering, whether it be the Yamaha XTO, which has the steering cylinder built into the bracket, or if you had the regular F425 and you went with, this boat, you'd have Optimus power steering, electric steering. And of course now Yamaha has come out with a new electronic steering cylinder, even for the Yamaha 300s and almost any Yamaha outboard. So go to Yamaha's site and check out their new electronic steering cylinder. This boat also comes standard with the 12-inch Garmin, obviously room for another. The boat that we're in today only has 3 options that I can see on it, and that is we've upgraded the sound system to the JL upgrade with the MM100 subs, MX6 speakers. It was all part of that upgrade. We also included the windshield closeout and an onboard charger. Everything else you've seen on this boat is standard or a no-charge option like the leaning post. The other thing that's unique about Sportsman and their 25-foot boats and up, no switching. It's all digital electronic switching. I've set up this chart plotter the way I like to use it with with my engine data here, depth finder and GPS, but also some digital switching can be added to the Garmin so that it's up all the time. Or you can go to all the digital switching. The digital switching system also comes with a remote control that you can use when you're, either up at the house and this is down on the dock, or you're trying to turn on lights and stuff for everyone down on the, at the restaurant. A lot of people ask about digital switching and what if it goes out. Well, they've thought of that as well. Inside the console, you got the whole backside panel. It's as easy as just moving a fuse up or down, and you can access all the same functions, even if your MFD goes out. The Garmin goes out, you still can use all your electronics. So when you get this boat with the Yamaha F425, you will also get, you have to get Yamaha/Garmin's display for that. So you can get engine data on here, but you'll also always have it with the 425. You'll also have it up here. With the F300 or 350, it's still going to be down here in the main display. Some additional options, the options on this boat go on forever, but this one's set up pretty simple, and I like the way it is. We'll get a quick look inside the console, and then we'll move to the bow. All right, so I jumped in the console real quick. I did want to cover a couple things. Obviously, I'm 6'2", plenty of space in here. I'm kind of squatting right now, but if you did the full head option, there's plenty of room, plenty of head height. This is me 6'2", Of course, the porta potty fits in here just fine. This is those amps for that JL audio upgrade, but I wanted to go over that digital switching option with you real quick, just because it does make some people nervous. If you just go in the console and pull down the sheet, this is that digital switching. So right here is real easy to get to. Just pull the lid off, and everything is labeled. And so, for example, fish box pump. If I wanted to turn that on, all I do is take that fuse out and drop it down one, and that turns it on. So if I've lost power to my Garmin or my MFD up top, and I still needed to use some of my electronics or my boat systems, I can still come down here and absolutely turn on. Anchor light, turn that on, just drop the switch down one, and it's on. So. And of course, it shows you things that are running right now. But I did want to just cover that with you real quick, because a lot of people are concerned about the reliability of digital switching, and they got a great backup system right there that should alleviate most of those concerns. All right, so we've come up here on the bow to show you. So the OE, as opposed to the regular Masters, is this one with kind of an open bow system, as opposed to the big casting deck that most of the Masters series has. Here in this boat, we've got the 140-gallon coffin box up front. But obviously, it's got a nice cushion system, armrest to keep people down, in the boat and keep them feeling safe. It's a great place to lounge and lay out. If room in the boat is a bigger concern for you because you're much more into the fishing than the family stuff, Sportsman also offers this where none of this exists, and they put a cooler right there, and the whole deck is wide open. I think they've got a couple videos on their website that show that, but that really opens up the boat for a lot of people moving around, especially bottom fishing, where you got people all around the boat dropping lines. You know, this boat does great. I've used this with my family, and it's nice to kind of have a place for them to hang out at the sandbar or on the ride in and out. And then I've got little people, so running around, they're down in the boat. They're not in like a bay boat where you feel like they're not safe, or they're not running up on the bow where it feels weird. They're down and in the boat, and lots of room to move around. Also, as we move around up front, you know, a couple steps. These steps here are just there so that you can get all the way up on the bow. But of course, Sportsman's used them, made some functionality. This one's just storage on this side. And this is your other little 8-gallon live well. Or maybe I got that backwards. That's the storage, the other one's a live well. And so if you, again, little mud minnows, shrimp, you don't want to run 20 feet to the back to go get a mud minnow. Also got a fish box up front, works great as a cooler. So if you're using the coffin box for all your fish and you need a cooler up on the bow, so you don't have to run too far to go get drinks, fill that up, as well as your anchor locker up on the bow with your trolling motor plug already run. Real easy, lots of great maneuverability for fishing and for hanging out at the beach or at the sandbar. I do love the way that this boat functions with the family. The boat's got a 15 or 16 inch draft, so you're getting a really good ride offshore and near shore, especially say from the hips down, so it's not, you're not just jerking all over the place and wearing out your knees and your ankles and your hips. The boat does great offshore, and of course inshore this is certainly easy to fish. Lots of room to get up, get away from the T-top for a back cast, and throwing cast nets and stuff like that. Truly is one of my favorite boats that they've come out with recently. So if you get a chance, go to Sportsman's website or Helm Marine and check out the 267 OE. Tons of options, tons of ways to make it customizable for your family or fishing. And check out the website. Let us know what you think. Thank you.